Alright folks, would-be farmer somewhere between Jacksonville and Orlando, Florida. Let's hope we can get this started before the sun takes over. As the sun comes up, the lighting becomes a little trickier. First got into permaculture a few years back. I read, I think it was Gaia's Garden, Toby Hemingway. Great book, by the way. But your permaculture project, your permaculture forest, or in our case in Florida, a cross between a forest and a jungle, which we lovingly call a fungal. After about 5 years, it pops. Well, ours was a little different because we had a lot of forest here already, so it's been snapping and crackling. I'm not sure if it's going to pop, but it's getting close to whatever that pop may be. This is at the 4-year point, so I'm going to take you to our main focus point. This was our grassy area in the back, what we would call a rural yard, I suppose. But our focus here was to put up a big fence to keep the deer from coming in and taking everything, and turn this into a food forest. So I'm going to take you around here a little bit, see what you think. Using natives as much as possible, which makes it look quite jungly. To my right, I have an LSU purple fig tree. To my left, I have, oh my, a loquat. A loquat. There's a couple of winged sumac natives. There's an aroid or two growing in there on its own. To my right, I have a Chickasaw Plum native. There's a Mulberry native over there to the right, and to my left is a pomegranate, followed by a native persimmon. And I have quite a bit of, what do I call these? I can't remember. Beans that are growing, there's ornamentals, reddish purplish. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head. I'll think of it shortly. Various bananas here. Peach tree to my right. More winged sumac. There's that loquat we just passed on the other side. Natives, I have quite a bit. You'll see the white flowers. I have quite a bit of Biden's alba. Chickasaw plum straight ahead right here. This is a Chickasaw plum, a native. Got blackberries growing in there as well. This Biden's alba you see everywhere is the #2 pollinator in the state of Florida for bees. Right behind the sable palm, I believe. Got a little fig growing here, trying to pop up in here. This is, just found out recently, I can't pronounce it. It's a native legume. Don't eat these. We ate these one day out in the woods and had the worst day of our life. Don't eat those. They're toxic. Many legumes you find out in the open in nature are indeed toxic. There's a pear tree that we've planted. It gave us one little bitty pear a couple years ago. Probably not the best item in Florida, to grow in Florida. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's an apple. That's an apple. And I've got 2 crab apples in here growing as well, back in there amongst the native brush. 2 crab apples, southern crab apples are growing native with, right, I got more native mulberry here. And I'm just highlighting a few of the plants and trees we've got growing in here. This is a dwarf namois. I got those from Oliver Moore up in Gainesville. And this, runner beans. Why am I forgetting what these are called? Runner beans. Get the mosquitoes off my hands. This is our what I call the barometer oak. Once we stopped mowing, that started growing, so that's been growing for right at 4 years. It's to kind of give us an idea of how things are growing around here. Okay, more bananas to the right. This is a mixed bag of bananas I pulled up actually from our forest area that had been growing there for quite some time, probably since the 90s on its own, so it lasted through freezes, browse, animal browse. Wasn't fertilized by anything but nature. Scarlet runner beans, that's what those are, scarlet runner beans. I couldn't remember the name, but I've got them. They're growing everywhere. They are happy here. So I just let them keep growing, threw more seeds around, let them do their thing. Got more blackberries growing in here. You see some blackberries down in there. Directly ahead you see these red and green little guys are Tindora or ivy gourd. I believe they're from India. Is that right? What I have here is that's a small guava. I think it's called a strawberry guava or a cherry guava. Got another fig growing in here. These are 4 o'clocks that were given by a friend. Got some red 4 o'clocks here, yellow 4 o'clocks here. And they asked a silly question. Do you want, and I said, is it a plant? Yeah. Is it invasive or toxic? No. Will it flower? Will it contribute to happiness? Yes. Yes, I want. So they were gifted to us. This is another pear tree. And popped up on its own here was a winged sumac, which we could make nice lemonade from if we want, or we can eat the berry straight, which we typically do. A winged sumac, not to be confused with poison sumac. Over here we have a native mulberry, and this isn't native, but it's a naturalized, perhaps, ear pod or monkey ear tree, a legume that grows very fast, acts as a pioneer species here. Another winged sumac. Down in here, I don't know if you can see it, we've got another guava growing right in there. Next to this winged sumac is a native Chickasaw plum. Again, I'm missing a lot of the trees we have growing in here. I'm just trying to pick out a few of the highlights. Another mulberry, scarlet runner beans everywhere. They are everywhere. Native American beautyberry. This is one I brought up from the forest, our forested areas, and brought up here because I wanted to bring as many natives back here as I could while I was planting some of these exotics. Let's see, just past another guava, strawberry guava. Scarlet plum, which is probably the most productive tree we've had here. Scarlet plum. In fact, I went and got another one from the same guy down in DeLand because they were so productive. I thought, well, go with what's producing. Go with what's producing. All right, another ear pod tree that's growing here. And we've got scarlet runner beans that went all the way up there to our bat house. Now, does our bat house have bats in it? Yeah, I don't know. We've seen bats all over here in the evenings, though, so we know we have bats. Just not sure where they're hanging out. Not sure if they like our little bat condo or not. All right, cruising through. Straight ahead is some figs. These are a couple of figs in here. Actually, there's 3 of them in there. 1, 2, and then a tiny one here, and they're the same age, but they didn't do anything. The one didn't do anything. The 2 did. The other one didn't. Okay, this area here, one of the first things I planted in this area was a hibiscus. And it has done very well. It has reproduced, and it's growing all over the yard back there. And of course, all these leaves and flowers are edible. I've got another scarlet plum that I planted back in there. You can see all the scarlet runner beans. They're taking residence. In with these scarlet runner beans, there are grapes growing in with them as well. They're a lot harder to see though, but they do produce. This is strawberry guava. That's given us a lot of fruit over the years, over our 4 years. I haven't been here that long. And I may take this out as the forest matures. This is a Mexican sunflower. It's really great for chop and drop. In fact, I've chopped it up a couple of times, and it just keeps coming back, wants to do its thing. Birds love it, so I'm trying to keep it at a level that it makes the birds happy. All right, jungling through here. Oh, directly ahead, another loquat Japanese plum. There were 9 of them growing in the front of the house, and we didn't need 9 in that area because there was a mother tree and 8 babies. So I took 4 of the smaller ones out and planted them back here in our food forest project. They will fruit in a couple years. They sure will. All right, the now ubiquitous scarlet runner bean, and there is a satsuma in here. At the end of summer, we're coming up in the end of summer. I'll trim some of that back so the satsuma gets some more sunlight. Right now, I don't have a problem with. I do not have a problem with extra shade for some of these trees because this Florida sun will bake. All right, so that's what we look like after 4 years. That's our focus area. And for those of you who have followed my videos, you've seen that we certainly have a lot of other areas on our property. But this was our big focus area, the Garden of Eden, we call it. And as you can see, it's no longer a rural grassy area where we throw the baseball and the football, kick that soccer ball around. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the videos.